Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Basking Broodscale on the draw for game 1. Keep this hand. We'll pass in full. Delayed Halfling E-Temp, 8 hits off the top, make this hand significantly better. So we can go Flesh Rake into Flesh Rake and the K command and do a lot of damage. Let's see what we draw. That is after opponent completes their Surveil trigger. Theater. Thinking Hollow One, maybe? Could also be some variation of Zoo. Is something I've seen before of Theater. Trying to think what else. I don't think Mardu Energy runs Theater, does it? As like a one of? Don't think so. Yeah, hard for me to say. Shadow Spear. Oh, that's not making things easier for me. There's Soul Guide Lantern. We'll play the Grove. Soul Guide. Eat the Shadow Spear and pass. And pass again. Now we'd want an E-Temple specifically. Inquisition. I mean, you take a Flesh Rake or take the K command. I mean, those are your only options, to be fair. Inquisition, Shadow Spear. Red, black. Rakdos. Yeah, I'm pulling a blank here. I'll be honest. I got nothing. Saga. Makes sense. I expected Saga. Halfling are a bit late to the party. Have you gain a life. And we'll hold. Saga trigger. Okay, so it's actually Jund. So maybe Jund Saga. Makes a bit of sense. Draw. Ancient Stirrings. I will play Ancient Stirrings. There's Broodscale, there's Grove, there's Ballistal. Grab the Broodscale. Play Beseiju. And cast Flesh Rake. We'll pass, you'll make a construct, I'd imagine. Know that the second card I have in hand is a Flesh Rake. I imagine, like, real speaking, we're looking at going Flesh Rake into Broodscale. They could have Pithy Needle to name Blade, but that'd be kind of okay. What they really need is interaction, but they're not making another construct. There's Pithy Needle to name Blade of the Blood Chief. We do have a second Beseiju to work around that, but again, double Flesh Rake is a threat within its own right, so I'm not too worried once they have interaction. Yep. Black colorless for Fatal Push. Yep, Fatal Push will resolve. So unless I draw into a land, I won't be able to play the Broodscale. Tarmogoyf has a 6/7. Jesus. There's another Saga. That's fine. We can shrink the Goyf theoretically. But not by too much, because we have a K command in my yard, so at least it'll be a 4/5. Draw. Second Beseiju. So now the question stands whether or not we hold the Beseiju, right? And I think the answer is yes, because we want to be able to Beseiju the Pithy Needle if we draw into the blade. We could also draw with the Soul Guide Lantern. No attacks. We'll hold. Saga trigger. And attack for 8, 9, down to 9. That's fine. Not ideal, but I think it's the best we can do right now. Make a construct. Yep. Again, take 9 down to 9. 1 up. I think we just go for the win, try and find a blade. Another Broodscale, not a blade. Draw. Forest in that case. I will go Basking Broodscale trigger. ETB. I don't think we besage you right now. So we'll just Broodscale triggers. Yep, just so we can have some blockers, basically. No attacks. We already ate their Shadow Spear, so we don't need to worry about trample damage unless they have multiple, which would be a bit surprising, as most Saga decks only run one-ofs in main and inside. Interesting. Is going to float. Feels like they have removal in that case. Either that, or maybe they forgot about the Shadow Spear. Spellbomb to get rid of my yard. Fatal Push, that's okay, not the end of the world. And blue, or not blue, green, colorless. Verdant Catacombs, 2 in hand, Vert Cat. Overrun Tomb. Shock the 16. Renin 6. Grabs back a Saga. I guess they could also ping a spawn, I suppose. Pings a spawn, yep. And another Goyf. That's fine. And I think in that case, I just block the Goyf with a spawn. I guess we could block with a Broodscale, because it doesn't really matter much. No, we'll block with a spawn, because we could always make another spawn with the Broodscale. Yeah, we'll do that. So go to blocks. Though I guess then again, if we take 8, then we're dead to a Renin 6. So in that case, we do have to block 2. Yeah, so go to blocks, block, and pass. Down to 5. We're not dead yet, but we're pretty close. They have nothing in hand. We draw. That will not do it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The thing is they have the Nihil Spellbomb. We can have 3 blockers. Block, 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 be down to 1. Oh, but then they'll just ping us with the Renin 6. We'll concede. I guess we could also just besage you a construct. Yeah, it's probably going to be what we have to do. So I'll play the Gemstone. We're not out yet, but we're not in a good spot either. We'll pass. I'm trying to think of what my out is here, but I'm not seeing anything good. Go to combat. Go to attacks. I will adapt. Always yes, always yield. Go to blocks. Block, block, block. Before damage. Besage you, construct, you'll gain a life, and I'll sack a spawn. We'll pass in full. Oh, I guess I should have... No, I had to block the Tarmogoyf. I should have blocked the Tarmogoyf with the spawn. Because that way at least I could have traded with the construct. Yeah. I still have had to deal with 2 Goyfs though. Renin 6 picks up a Saga. Yep, makes sense to me. And draw. No. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too short of the Emrakul anyways. We'll concede. This is Saga. Loss. Let's move the game 2. Yeah, between pushes, I'm going to say bolts. It's going to be a bit of a rough matchup, I think. Maybe even Pith. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 1. 1, 1, 2, 3. Cut. Vex. Aramite's good. Pithineal's good. Soul Guide is good. Keep it like this. That seems right. Alrighty. More of a heavy interaction plan more than anything. The play for game 2. I mean, we kind of just make constructs. So we go Temple, hope for a green source off top. Temple, we'll pass. And pass, otherwise we go Saga, Ballista. Blood Grip Shock, Thoughtseize, or Thoughtseize Effect. Because we probably play 7 between Inquisition. Probably take Thief of Existence or Ballista. A Rumble, that's fine. Even though I can't cast it, that's interesting. Draw. Well, surprise, surprise, I can cast it now. Saga trigger. Ballista. X equals 1. And hold. And hold. Fetch. Shock. Renin 6. Haywire Might. That's annoying. Eats the Saga. Yep. Eats the Saga. Nothing much I can do about that, unfortunately. And I do have another Saga, so we'll play Saga Trigger. And go to combat. And hold. Plaque. For what? Push. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize resolves. Could take Rumble, could take Thief. Takes the Thief. Okay. And more or less just kind of diving into the construct beatdown plan. Not taking the Emrakul is risky on their part. The Seiju. Pith Needle naming what? Blade of the Bloodchief? Or Saga? Blade of Bloodchief, that's fine. Draw. Trigger. There's Broodscale, funny enough. Play the Forest. Go to combat. And hold. Down to 13. Let's see, the Renin 6. No. Wants to hold up the black source. Renin 6, will you ping the Ballista? No, you'll grab back a Bloodstain Mire. Okay. Bloodstain Mire. And going to end step. I will make a construct. And draw. Another Saga, so we could go for Haywire Might, as that should still be in the deck. It is. So we could go Might, exile the Pith Needle, play another Saga. Let's go with Blade of the Bloodchief here first. Make another construct. And we also could always go Pith Needle named Renin 6. That's a thought. A consideration. No, let's grab the blade. And then go to combat. Attack at Ren. And attack at you. Black for what? Push. That is fine. Triggers blade, always yield. Play another Saga. And we'll hold. Bloodstain Mire down to 11. Surveil trigger. Puts an Underground Mort into yard, and we'll hold. Urza Saga, why flip the red? Pyroclasm. Understood. So in that case, I'll ping you for 1. Trigger and pass. 5 types in yard, so I have access to 9. 4 short on the Emrakul. Picks up the Underground Mort. And draw. The Lighted Halfling. I'm thinking we might go Malevolent Rumble rather than the Construct. The Construct's not going to do too much next turn, so yeah, let's start with Rumble here. There's Springleaf, and there is a land. I'll take the land. So we'll go Grove the Burn Willows or the Forest. We'll grab the Forest. Or Grove the Burn Willows, rather. That is 7 types in yard. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I will pass. So we have Emrakul next turn. Black, green, red, green, black. Cycle? Is it a trial? What is this? Grabs back the might, deals me 2 damage. Yeah, that is significant. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but they'll probably ping it, so it means I need a temple off top. Well, aren't you obnoxious? Yeah, that's fine. Not ideal, but fine. Exiles the Saga. 6 pings. Give me a E-temp off the top, please. Because otherwise, they're probably going to grab Nihil's Spell Bomb is the problem. And draw. Oh, look at that. Ask and you shall receive. Perfect timing, too. Alright, always yield. Our turn, comrade. Black. Black. Saga. That's fine. You will feed it to Emrakul. Draw. Molten Collapse. Well, you look at that. Sorcery Speed. Destroy target creature Planeswalker. I will destroy Renin 6. That much is obvious. Trigger on the stack. I'll float. And let's take a peek at your deck. I'm curious. There's Spell Bomb. There's Shadow Spear. Ashiok, Abrupt Decay, Jun Charm. Fatal Push, Nethergoyf. Huh. Those sure are some cards. Fail to find. So in that case, I will run in 6, and I will deal you 1 damage. I'll Molten Collapse, cast, destroy target creature Planeswalker, run in 6, red and black. Oh, I guess I could have... Oh yeah, if I would have descended, I could have also killed the Pithy Needle. I guess I already had descended. I could have done both. I was more focused on the fact that I wanted to kill the Ren in 6. That is on me. Should have read that more thoroughly. Don't want any of that. We'll go to combat at this point. Because, yeah, then we would have been able to combo off the Broodscale. So they have a way to kill the Emrakul on SOL. Excuse me. That comes down to this draw. Do you find Sorcery Speed removal? You did not, thankfully. Alright, to win for game 2, let's move on to game 3. We want our Cavernous Souls back. But that actually is a bit difficult. Again, Pithy Needle Might is good. Soul Guy Lantern is good. Pithy Needle is kind of okay. It mainly hits, from what I could see, Ashiok Renin 6, which is not insignificant. Also does hit Beseiju, so yeah, it hits enough things. So I'll cut a Thief in that case and run it back like this. Let's see. We have the Blade. We just need to find the Broodscale. So I'll pass. Go Forest, Ancient Stirrings. Burning Catacomb, fetch. Blood Crypt, shock for a seize effect. Nope, it's a Ragavan. Draw. Broodscale. We found the Broodscale then. In that case, I will start with E-Temp, Lay of the Blood Chief. And pass. And pass. Ragavan hits. 18. E-Temp. Would have liked that for the K command X2. Seize effect. Takes the Broodscale, I'd imagine. Otherwise, takes the K command. If they don't take the Broodscale, it means they have interaction, I'd imagine, then. most likely. Saga trigger. Haywire Might eats the blade. I guess they can eat the blade. Wastegate Battle Mage. In that case, I will kick the Wastegate. Cash trigger, eat the Saga. And I will pass in full. And passing. Fetch Bloodstained Mire. Do you have a Fatal Push? Or Molten Collapse? Molten Collapse would kill both, admittedly. Yeah. There's the Molten Collapse. Blade triggers, doesn't matter though, so we now need to find another blade. One card in hand, Ragavan hits. Finds another Wastegate, would have liked that. To exile the Haywire Might. Thankfully they can't cast it. Nethergoyf. Annoying, but okay. Glaring Flesh Rake. Well, in that case, I will cast, well, okay, so a little bit of an issue with that. I will play Grove of the Burn Willows. I am going to cast Basking Broodscale. I am going to adapt. Always yes, always yield. This way we have a blocker, and at that point I'll pass. I will hold one card in hand. What did you find? Removal would be less than ideal. Anything else would be tolerable, I suppose. This might still a bit of a thorn in my side. There's a world where I do Basage it if I do find a blade. Black, 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 black. The combat. End step. Draw a second Broodscale. The second Broodscale is not bad. We could simply Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake resolves. We'll play Beseju. And then cast a second Broodscale. Trigger. Always yield. This way we can adapt. Down to 11. I'll hold. What do you have in hand? Nothing you wanted to cast then and there. Interesting. Stomping Grounds tapped. One in hand still. Black, black. White. Liliana. Yeah, that's fine. You could make me sacrifice a creature if you really want. Discards a card. Yeah, that's fine. Pitches my Ancient Stirrings. Would have liked it, but c'est la vie. Put a pause on end step. I'll adapt. Always yes. That's a dangerous move as well. Should be always yield. Because if I draw into a blade, I win. Okay, command. Let's go digging. X equals 4. Triggers. That's 5 damage, down to 5. And opponent will scoop it up. We'll take the win. Alright. Well, that being said, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2. On the draw for game 1, we'll play the gemstone, we'll pitch a forest, and I will pass. So this is a Glaring Fleshraker on turn 1. Gotta love that. I mean, as a turn 2, and if you can find a Broodscale. Scouting Tarn fetch. For Blood Crypt Shock. We're gonna see a Thoughtseize. That would be less than ideal. Bobble. Bobble's fine. Bobble target me? Yep. But why Blood Crypt there then? Thoughtseize. Netherglyph. Netherglyph is fine. Bobble trigger. And draw. E-turn. And Fleshraker. Pass. And pass. Polluted Delta. Five cards in hand. Black. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize eats the blade. Unfortunate, but we do have the Saga's backup. Yep. Netherglyph grows. Attacks for 3, down to 17. No blocks. Yep. And passing? Nope. Fetch Polluted Delta. Do you have another Netherglyph? I wonder if it's another Jund Saga deck. Blood Crypt Shock to 12. Do you have a Fatal Push? Looking like it. Death Shadow. Okay. Give me a Grove of the Burn Willows. That would have been so funny. Just kill the Death Shadow. Yeah, a little bit awkward. I don't want... Like, I want to attack, but I also don't want to attack. When we take 6 down to 11, if they dress down, do we die? Almost, actually. No, but Netherglyph would shrink. Yeah, I'll attack. But if they have a... if they have a Street Wraith, I'm gonna regret that. They do not. Okay. We'll pass in full at this point. I was so hoping for the Grove of the Burn Willows. Would have been the funniest thing. So yeah, I'm gonna guess Grixis Death Shadow. It's not looking great for game 1, admittedly. Scouting Tarn, Watery Grave, Shock to 7, so that's 9. 9 down to 8 right now. Okay, 3 types in yard. And 9 down to 8. Yep. 3 cards in hand. You did shock the Watergrave. What for? DRC, sure. Anything else? 2 cards in hand. Black, Netherglyph, and 1 in hand. Okay. Draw. That'd be really nice if we didn't draw nothing but lands. I will play the E-Temp. We'll hold up the Saga. So we can block Death Shadow and be at 1 as long as DRC doesn't float. DRC. Surveil. Creature. Yep, so DRC floats. Now we do have to block Death Shadow, Nethergoyf. Yes. Takes a look at my top. And attack with all. Yep. I'll make a construct. Trigger. Always yield. Go to blocks. Block. And block. And pass. Red. Bolt. Violent Urge. Violent Urge will do it. I will concede. So this is Death Shadow. Okay. Let's see then. What do we want to bring in for Death Shadow? Fire Spout could be relevant. Does deal with DRC in the air. Does deal with small Death Shadows. As well as Nethergoyfs, but they can grow out of range. So I'm less inclined to do that. Damp Sphere, probably not. Like Vexing Bubble's probably a no. Haywire Might's probably a no. Soulguide Lantern's fine though. We can cut the Gemstone. Maybe bring in Dismember, question mark. And what else? I actually don't know here. I'm trying to think of, because I haven't played against Death Shadow in a hot minute. Let's see if I can pull up a deck list and see what's up. Death Shadow. Modern. Grixis. Yep. Plays Frog. Fatal Push. Bolt. A whole lot of interaction. Consign on the side. Spellbomb. Ragavan. Molten Collapse. Pyroclasm. Yeah, this deck will be pretty annoying. But nothing that really screams Wasescape or Thief, even Fire Spout. So maybe we just keep the Gemstone then and run it like this. Yeah, let's do that. On the play for game 2. I mean, this looks good. Turn 1, Ancient Stirrings. Turn 2, E-Temp. And again, I guess we could go E-Temp. Yeah, we'll go E-Temp. And then Saga. So E-Temp, pass, and pass. Please don't Thoughtseize me. Polluted Delta. And I guess one thing I didn't see there was a Dress Down. I'm pretty sure Dress Down was used previously, right? Not seeing it here. Yeah, interesting. Target self. The fetch. Do you like this? Do you like what you see on top? You do not. Okay. What do you grab is the question. Watery Grave Shock. So this is going to be a Thoughtseize, I imagine. No. Just going to be holding up something. Could be a Consign to Memory. Saga Trigger. Let's see if it's a Consign. Pass in full. Looks like it. There's Consign to Memory. and we'll pass. Tend to just make constructs here for a couple turns. Might actually play the Grove of the Burn Willows over the Forest just so we can shrink a Death Shadow if it gets to that point. It is a funny concept. Missing their land drop, that's pretty huge for me. There's a Blade of the Blood Chief. We'll play Grove, we'll pass. No reason to make a construct now. Black for Thoughtseize, or not. Black for Thoughtseize. Yep, that resolves. You'll take the Flesh Raker. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Yep, Flesh Raker down. Put a pause on end step. And we'll go for a Construct Beatdown. Construct number 1. Draw. E-Temp. Construct number 2. And let's grab Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern will eat Consigned Memory. I'll play a Forest. And let's play the Blade of the Blood Chief. Go to combat, swing at you for 4. And pass. We'll hold in case it's relevant. Black for push. Nethergoyf is fine, we can shrink it. You find another land, you did not. I will play Ancient Stirrings. There's K command. Play E-Temp. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ramp and exile the Nethergoyf. And done. Goyf is down. Unfortunately, I think I'm one short of lethal. Yes, I am short of lethal. Yeah, because we can push him to 1. Actually, it's still not a bad idea. The reason they're being is if they draw into a fetch, they can't use it. Yep. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. And go to combat. So yeah, not even a push, or not a push, a fetch you can't use. We'll pass in full. And we got that. Alright. I mean, they took risky hand, clearly. Win for game 2. And yeah, we didn't see anything that surprised us. So I think we just run it back as is. On the draw for game 3. We have Stirrings to try and find lands. We're also on the draw. We're just missing a blade. So yeah, we'll keep this. Of course, I'm going to end up in the same position that they were in and get ultra punished for keeping a 1-lander. Alright, we'll pass in full. With a Delta. Draw. Springleaf Drum. Excuse me. Ancient Stirrings. There is Saga. I will grab Saga. And pass. Blue the Delta fetch. Theater, Surveil. And pass. What a grave. Shock. Count 18. Efroge? No. Maurice? Whoa. I'm just confused what I'm playing against, I'll be real. Eyes is confused. I'm tempted to play the Flesh Raker here. I kind of like that idea. Because A, it will act as a lightning rod. B, if we draw over or draw the blade, we win. Springleaf Drum will be mana positive. Soul Guide Lantern's mana neutral. Yeah, I mean, this seems decent. If they had a seize, they would have already used it, I feel. 5 cards in hand. Corey's Steel Cutter is weird. Opponent says be right back, so I will pause the recording here and be back once they have returned. Alright, opponent's back. There's the Thoughtseize. They'll take the Broodscale, I'd imagine. Unless they have Interaction in hand, in which case maybe they'll take the Stirrings. Which is a possibility. Interesting. So yeah, they have Interaction in hand to deal with the Broodscale. There's Bolt, target Flesh Rake. Unfortunate, but expected. Attack for 2, and they're going to hold the Bloodstained Mire. Draw. K command. In that case, play Saga Trigger. And I'll hold, see if they fetch the Bloodstained Mire. So yeah, that's definitely a consign they're holding then. I'll take the 2. I mean, we'll use the K command as permission in that case. Rather do it now than hold for next turn, just because we will make a construct next turn. Do we eat the consign? Interesting. There's Traverse the Uvenwall and an E-Temp. That is going to be good. Draw. E-Temp. So I'm going to gain you a life. I guess actually, let me Springleaf Drum first. And gain you a life. Do you consign? You do not. Interesting. In that case, I think I just hold here. No consign. Fascinating. I could traverse the Uvenwald right now, but I think we'll just hold it. Yep. No attacks. 3 in hand. They know we have the Ballista on the Soul Guide. Really, no interaction. Is that Bloodstained Mire really a bluff? I guess they could have Molten Collapse. That's a thought. I'm not sure if they play Molten Collapse now I think about it. No, not looking like it. Huh. Red. Bolt. Bolt target. Broodscale. Prowess trigger. Doesn't really do too much, right? I guess we could adapt, not make a construct. Tap for green. Tap. Adapt. Always yes. Always yield. We'll eat the bolt. 3 in hand. We have the traverse. Bauble trigger. Trigger Corey Steel Cut. 2 in hand. Violent Urge. Would make that 10 damage. Oh, interesting. I guess it would be 12 damage, actually. Yes, they could have Violent Urge. No, they don't have enough types in the yard. Interesting. Draw. Trigger. Float. Search for Blade. Blade Chief. Green. Traverse the Uvenwall. I mean, I think we just go for the win, right? If they have the counterspell, they have the counterspell. So, go for Broodscale. Green, tap spawn. Tap for Broodscale. Does Broodscale resolve? Broodscale resolves. I'll attempt to equip the Broodscale. Two cards in hand. Are they interaction? Fatal Push. Push. Yes. Not much we could do about that. I mean, it could have went for the Emrakul instead of the Traverse. I guess it would have been a bit more narrow, which would have been nice. So in that case, I will... Let's see. 1, 2, equip. So I guess I can go 1, 2, trigger. Walking Ballista. Done. Equip Blade to Ballista. And then let's trigger Blade. Trigger Blade. Play Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern will eat your land. Reduce the number of types in yard. Then let's go to your upkeep. End step. Bauble target self. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we do have enough for Emrakul off the top. before you draw, I'll ping the monk. Alright. Draw 3 in hand. What say you, opponent? A land? Why have you never fetched this Bloodstain Mire? I'm so confused by this. Black. Push? Push would be annoying. Nethergoyf would be fine. We can shrink a Nethergoyf. Red. Black, red. Pyroclasm? No, that wouldn't make sense in this context. Meltdown, x equals 1. I see. In that case, ping the monk. Ping the monk. Trigger the blade. Ping you. Ping you. And then Soul Guide Lantern. Graveyard, and pass. Well, that's annoying, I'll tell you what. If they just drew that, was a fantastic top deck. We'll play the forest and pass. I guess there's no reason to have played that forest, actually. I should have held it. Should have held it. They did what? Oh, bobble. Bobble target self. And bobble. Draw. Play the half lane. Pass. And pass. And draw. Ancient Stirrings. 2, 4, 5, 6. I mean, next turn we have 7, but I'm thinking maybe K command. We'll go K command. And hold. I do play Stubborn Denial, so we do need to play around that. Yeah. Of course, there's Consign, which would kind of suck. Land 3 in hand. We'll play around the Stubborn Denial and hold up the half lane. Okay, command. Ram Scry draw. And what say you, opponent? Do you have a Consign? Blue. Consign. Pass. And draw. Halfling. Cast halfling. And attack. Down to 16. We'll hold on off chance they're still on the Death Shadow where we can shrink it with the Grove of the Burn Willows. Corey's Steel Cut. Do you have a second spell to cast? And looks like you do. Nethergoyf triggers. I got nothing right now, so I'll pass in full. So that's going to be 4 damage. You could equip to Nethergoyf. 1 in hand. Shot to 13. Scouting Tarn fetch. So yeah, they're going to do that. So that way they can haste in an extra 2 damage. I guess, yeah, extra 2 damage. Equip the Nethergoyf. We'll take 7 down to 5. Unless I block the monk, I suppose. Might not be the worst idea, but I think I'll just take the hit. Down to 5, draw. Walking Ballista. Yeah, I think we just go Walking Ballista, X equals 2 then. No Blade, unfortunately, to assist. And I'll pass. I guess maybe it's a good idea, actually, to just ping the monk right now. Yeah, we'll ping a monk now so they can't prowess out of range. I'll pass. Last card, off the top, going to combat. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, giving up a halfling seems reasonable. I need to block the Nethergoyf, though, is the problem. So, like, I'm thinking block Nethergoyf. So this is 7, mitigate 2 is 5. So we have to block we have to block the monk as well. So block like this, 2 damage. We'll take 3 down to 2. Go to end step. I'll ping you. And draw. Unfortunate. I will concede. Alright. Yeah, they're just able to grind out value at the end there. Well, with that said, we'll be back for match number 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. It's not great, to be completely honest. I mean, we have a lot of hits off the... do we really have that many hits off the top? This hand really does nothing. I'm going to mulligan. This hand is better. We'll have a green source or another temple. We could keep the Bulb as a redraw, pitch the Emrakul instead. Could pitch the Rumble, but if we found a green source, then we're in a good spot. Yeah, I'm thinking pitch Emrakul, keep Bauble, play Temple Bauble on 1. That way we have a redraw. Unless we note that our opponent is weak to Bauble. So yeah, that seems right to me. But looks like opponent might be away from keyboard, so we'll be back once they've returned. Alright, opponent's returned, and looks like they keep their opening 7. Again, we'll pitch the Emrakul, reveal Devourer, and trigger. There's Flesh Rake. I do like me my Flesh Rake. In that case, E-Temp, Bauble, and pass, and pass. And they play a 1-mana value spell. We can always K-command X1 instead. And opponent scoops it up. Well, I have a sneaking suspicion that this is Neobrand. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is Neobrand. So let's take a look at my sideboard guide real quick. Let's see, where's Neobrand at? I mean, we actually don't do too much. Bring in the Grafdigger's Cage, we cut a Mite, and that's about it. Alright, cut a Mite. Bring in a Grafdigger's. guess there's some thought to keeping Might in case of Birthing Ritual or Xenagos. Actually, yeah, Might has some use that I didn't think about. So I think we keep the Might. Soulguide Lantern's also good though, is the problem. Because we definitely want to cut the Gemstone. If we keep the Might, then what do we cut on the draw? I guess I could just cut a Ballista. That seems reasonable. Because, yeah, I guess it hits Xenagos and it hits a Birthing Ritual if they play Birthing Ritual. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. So, yeah, I want to bet that we're playing against Neobrand. Another Bobble in hand is good. So I think we want to play Bobble on 1 then, right? Yeah. I will keep. I will pass. Verdant Catacombs. Rider. Well, so it is indeed Neobrand. So I wish we had the Graph Diggers instead here, because the Bobble no longer does its job. Boseju's not good enough, though I guess Bobble still hits Pact, which is relevant. So in that case, I will play E-Temp and I still play the Bobble to play around the Pact. That way they can't grab for Xenagos if they don't have it. Tapped. Galta, Generous, and Disciple of Freyalise. Oh, maybe I should have played the Saga, though, in retrospect. I should have played Saga. The reason there being is we could have gone for Graph Digger's Cage. Yeah. 16. It might not matter. Neoform for Grizzlebrand. And now you can dig. You choose not to dig. K command. We could do what? I mean, I can't exactly block. I can play Boseju. And let's rumble. There's Emrakul. Emrakul is tempting, but we'd have not a lot in the way of types in Yard. Because if we can cast the Emrakul, we're in a good spot. I think I will grab the E-Temp. And I will pass. Yeah, at this point we just need to combo off. The thing is they can dig really deep. So I don't think we ever get to resolve anything of value again is the problem. We'll take the 8 down to 9. Draw 7. They get to sculpt their hand. We still have the Bobble on field, so they can't go from their Neoform, thankfully. Paying cost for what? Okay, Mandrills. So Lethal's now on board, so I need a blocker. Neobrand, draw, again, just gonna hand sculpt. And they're gonna have Consign the Memory in hand. Like I said, no matter what, nothing I cast from now on is going to resolve. Oh, Neoform? Yeah, on the Mandrills for an Atroxa. Or not. Rude. But it also gains me 3 life, so I no longer have lethal. Rider. Okay, there's Rider. Well, Galta, Neoform, passing. Pitch the hand size and holding up a Consign. Draw. Well, well, there's the Broodscale for all that's good. I can K command X equals 4, which will allow me to block the rider. We can also block the rider with a spawn. We can K command X equals 2. I'm thinking let's cast Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? I imagine it does. Here's Blade of the Blood Chief. Grabs a blade. Plays the blade. You have a consign. Okay. It resolves. We'll pass. We can block the Allosaurus Rider. We'll take 12 down to 1. That's fine, as long as we can resolve. But like I said, there's no way that happens. They're holding a consign. Oh, not to mention Neoform for Gulta, though they've already pitched a lot of Gulta. Oh, they Gulta into Xenaghost and yeah, we're dead. Fails to find? What? I mean, that's fine by me. I'll take the 12 down to 1. Draw. Grove. I mean, we just try and resolve Broodscale. That's all we can really do. Does Broodscale resolve? I mean, it definitely doesn't. Consign. In that case, I will cast K command. Pull up the second green. And we're gonna go digging. I mean, it doesn't even matter though. Hold on. If we dig for Broodscale, does it matter? We have no payoff is the problem. The K command is the payoff. What would be the benefit here? I guess we would get 6 types in yard. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'd still be short though. And even if we were to Broodscale again, we'd have no payoff. We'd need double blade in order to make a spawn infinite to attack. So that's also a moot point. I don't have anything. I'll concede. Alright. Let's go to game 3, but I was right about the Neobrand. Alright. Let us see what we can do. I mean, there's not much else for us to do right now. And I think we just keep, I guess we cut the gemstone and keep the ballista in and run it back. On to play for game 3. I mean, there's Broodscale, there's Rumble, there's Emrakul. We just need Blade. This does feel slow given the deck we're up against. I will mulligan. There's Cage. Okay, so that is what we want to see. So they'll start 7, so we will pitch a halfling. That seems right. So pitch a halfling. Done. Play Grove of the Burn Willows. Play Grafdigger's Cage. And pass. That way they can't bring out the Allosaurus Rider early, basically. I guess in that case I should have went Saga. I was initially thinking about going Halfling. Oh, well, actually, yeah. No, they can still bring out the Rider. I just... Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Saga trigger. I'm pretty sure they run, like, a basic, right? Not insane for thinking that. Let's see. Neo form. Yeah, I feel like they run, like, a basic. Neobrand. In Modern. Let's take a look. Yeah, like a forest. So in that case, it's possible that we want to hold up the Basiju, unironically. Huh. I mean, they would need specifically to have Nature's Claim or Force here. I will grab the E-Temp. And then pass. Yeah, we definitely should have played Saga on turn 1. Admittedly. What did you pitch, by the way? Galta, Summoner's Pact. Yep, Hedge Maze. Neoform, because they're looking for answers. Herding Cat. I'll take the hit. And draw. And trigger. Second Basaju. In that case, I will hold. Fetch, Herding Cat, down to 19. Hedge Maze. Generous Ent. Breeding Pool tapped. Hit me for 4. I'll take the hit. End step. Make a construct. And I will draw trigger. 'Tis a forest. I will make a construct. I will... Let's see, we could Vexing Bauble, we could Haywire Might. Vexing... Actually, no, we can't Haywire Might. Aha, no. I think Vexing Bauble might be the safest bet. It stops any more Allosaurus Riders. Let's go Vexing Bauble. I guess otherwise the Soul Guide Lantern does stop hooting Mandrill, which is relevant. I feel like they would have played it already if they had it. They already have the Allosaurus Rider on board. So in that case, yes, we'll go Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern, target Generous Ent. Again, stop the hooting Mandrills. I will play another Saga. How many... We've already seen the Breeding Pool. We've seen... I haven't seen the Hollowed Fountain. We've seen Hedge Maze. Playing another green is tempting here for the Basaju. Play the Saga. Trigger. And I think we should attack. Down to 15. Then we can block. Hooting Mandrills. I guess they could play it right now if they have another land. Yeah, that is an option, I suppose. Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact for what? Well, now I regret not grabbing the bauble. Allosaurus Rider. That's fine. There's another rider. Pitching 2 cards. What 2 cards? Atraxa and Eldritch Evolution. Okay, that is fine by me. And draw. Trigger. Well, that is interesting. I will play the Halfling. Pact negation? Sure. Weird, but sure. Attack and attack. The damage down to 7. We'll hold the Besejus. I mean, how do you pay for Pact? I guess you have... you have 2 Pact triggers. Now, what's the... I guess consigned memory? Yeah, consign. That has to be the answer. Nope. Just conceding. I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright. Well, I'll take the win against Neobrand. We'll be back for match number 4. Alright, we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. If only this had a forest. Mulligan. I will keep. I will pitch the Springleaf Drum. Yes. Done. Gemstone. Exile the Rumble. And pass. It's a bit risky, but if it pays out, we might be able to win. Flagstones. Giver. Okay. Urza Saga. Trigger. We could play Ballista, or we can play the Broodscale now. We'll play the Broodscale now and pass. And pass. A bit risky, but let's see if it pays off. It will not, because Ghost Quarter. Oh, that's fine. You probably should have Ghost Quartered my Urza Saga. I mean, unless you have something else. Meticulous Archive, yeah, Surveil. Ghost Quarter TR, so it's mono white land destruction. Okay, so you have White Orchid Phantom. Yeah, that'll do it. Forest, so I need a blade off the top then. Draw. It is not a blade off the top. That's a forest. That's not good. I will play the Grove of the Burn Willows, and you can give it protection from colorless, so I will pass. No attacks. We'll adapt. The combat. Attack of the White Orchid. Yep. That will be 2 down to 18. Draw. E-temp. No reason to play that right now, I don't think. Tempted to play the Ballista X2, however. Cast Ballista X2. Does that resolve? I'll pass at this point. Yeah, I should have adapted. Didn't mean to pass in full last turn. Felia. So Felia will flicker the White Orchid Phantom, and they can give it protection because of the Giver of Ruins. Yeah, that sure is a thing you can do. I'm thinking we pop the Giver with Walking Ballista. Another target creature you control gains protection from colorless, or from another color of your choice. Yeah, I'll just pop the Giver now, I suppose. Because otherwise they're going to Felia, Flicker the Ballista. Yeah, just overall. Okay, I'll pass. They'll Flicker White Orchid Phantom. Hits on my lands, that's fine. Giver Ruins, that's less fine. Felia, Flickers White Orchid. Could just Flicker the Basking Broodscale. Yeah, figured that would be the case. No blocks. Again, it would be nice if this did have the counter on it. Yes. And forest. That's my last forest, however. Draw. That works out. So in that case, let's see if they have an EFEM. Well, yeah, I think the best thing we can do is get rid of the Felia. So I think ramp, or not ramp, scry draw exile. Target creature. Do you have consign main, or is it going to be an EFEM? X equals 4. EFEM would kind of suck, but not be the end of the world. Solitude hits the Basking Broodscale. And what did you pitch? Another Felia. Yep, Basking Broodscale down. K command. Okay. You're not protecting, you're exiling. That doesn't stop the K command though. Not sure if they know that. In that case, Bauble Bottom, Springleaf Bottom, Forest Bottom, Rumble Top and Draw. I'll pass in full. And there's EFEM, White Orchid Phantom. White Orchid Phantom, it's the E-Temp. Would make the most sense. Yep. I'll choose not to. Thank you very much. I don't want anything that's on the bottom. Aether Vial's fine. Solitude attacks. Yep. And draw. Moseiju. I will Malevolent Rumble. We could Devour. Yeah, I'll go Devour. Play Forest. Hold up Devour. And as long as White Orchid Phantom does not get flickered, we're going to be fine. And attack. Take the 5 down to 10. Draw. Play a Grove. And exile Giver Ruins. Giver Ruins down, so we can block the Solitude. Aether Vial's on 2, 3 cards in hand. We'll at least take 2 from the White Orchid down to 8. EFEM Solitude. Needs to Devour up to 16. Take 2 down to 14. Give me an Emrakul. Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern. Let's eat Ghost Quarter. And I'll draw with the Soul Guide Lantern. halfling. I'll play a halfling. I will play the Boseiju, and I'll pass. And pass. Ephem, Solitude or White Orchid? Ephem. No? Interesting. I'll take 5 down to 9. Up to 32. 2 Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge Mystic. For what? Cauldron complete. Wild. Draw. Ballista. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. X equals 4. Aven Interrupter? Brutal. 2, 5, 7. Cauldron complete. That's lethal. I will concede. Yeah, the Aven Interrupter was just brutal. So it's kind of blinkish? Kind of blinkish. Ish. I'm gonna say land destruction though. It's probably more apt. They splash blue, so they're gonna have consigned to memory. What is my game plan against Blink? I mean, Dismember in, yeah. I wonder about Fire Spout. Fire Spout might actually be good here. There's enough that seems to be relevant. So we cut 1, 2, 1. 1. Vaccine Bobble's a yes. Soul Guide Lantern's a maybe? I'm gonna say no though. Haywire Might's a maybe. We'll cut it for now though. Like a Thief or a Wastecape is a possibility just because of the whatchamacallit. I guess also Pithy Needle could name Ghost Quarter. That's a thought. Yeah, maybe just run it back like this. Yeah, let's run it back like that. We could also name Aether Valve Pith. It has a number of options. We'll keep, or we'll be on the play for game 2. There's Vexing Bauble, there's Broodscale, there's Saga. So in that case, let's start with a Forest, Delighted Halfling, and pass. And pass. Blackstones, and Aether Vial, and draw. And Saga Trigger. Now we could keep K command X equals 1. But I think bringing out the Bauble here might be right. Go Bauble. And then Broodscale. And pass. Aether Vial trigger. Flooded Strand fetch for an island. White blue invasion. So it probably goes for the K command, I'd imagine. Costs 2 more to cast. That's fine. If that is what they decide to do. Yep. Draw. E-temp. Unfortunate timing for me. We could just K command X equals 0. I think I will hold here, however. We'll go to combat. Attack of Broodscale. And hold. We can still cast the K command. Actually, just holding the K command here feels right. Unless they get rid of the Broodscale. 3. Skyclave Apparition. Aether Vial first. Aether Vial trigger. White Orchid Phantom. That is annoying, admittedly. We could K command X equals what? 1? Costs 2 more. Yeah, we can X equals 1. The alternative is that we make a construct. The biggest thing here is that it seems like they're setting up for a Flicker Wisp. I will float. Yes. Grab a forest. 2 types in yard. Temp lock. Each non-land permanent of mana value 2 or less. Float. In that case, that resolves. That will eat the battle too, though, is the thing. Yes. And then I will cast K command. Oh, it still costs the extra. Interesting. X equals 1. That is unfortunate. There's Pithy Needle. We'll put that at the bottom. Delighted Halfling. So we do have the Traverse in hand. Draw. Rumble. I will play Halfling. I will play Rumble. I should play Rumble first, maybe. There's the Emrakul that we wanted, funny enough. 5 cards in yard. I will pass. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you'll choose Emrakul, I imagine. Yep. And draw. So this will be 15. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We could traverse. And if I traverse now, I could grab at a lot of things, actually. Oh, this is interesting. Did I take out Haywire Might? I did. That's unfortunate. Now that we know about the temporary lockdown, that's good to know, though. If we do make it another game. Because we have no way to deal with temp lock short of a Boseiju. Which is something to consider, I suppose. But then it also gives them like Orchid Phantom. Yeah. So maybe not. I'll traverse. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, could also go Devourer to eat the temp lock. Again, I'm not sure that's necessarily the best idea, to be completely honest. So we could just go E-Temp and see if we grab Emrakul next turn. We'll pass. I guess I'll attack for 1. And pass. 2 in hand. Skyclave app eats the halfling. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Another E-Temp. Confirming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, so we cancel. I will pass. And I will pass. the combat, swing for 2. Or not. Yep, swings for 2, down to 15. And draw. Boseiju. So 1, 7, 8, 9. Do you have consigned to memory? I'm hoping it lands so we could then Boseiju for 1. Ideally on their turn. Ping cost Ephem. Okay. Skyclave app triggers. Give me a token. There's an Aven Interrupter. There's the Ephem Rebound. Trigger. I'm gonna say no, because it is you don't control. Draw. So I can play this. Let's see, anything else that works out in our favor? Target opponent's hand. May exile non-land permanent. It is a May ability, admittedly. Go to main. Let's go to combat. Attack with the Skyclave app. Go to blocks. Skyclave app triggers. And then I will play you. Target opponent, target me. I'm going to now go for the Boseiju on the temp lock. I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to fail to find. I guess we could also Meticulous Archive and set up the top. The only downside of that is that White Orchid Phantom. No, we can choose not to. Yeah, so we'll do that. Meticulous Archive. Triggers. I guess we can put Archive on last. So go you. Actually, yeah, first in, last out. And choose target. We'll choose you may. Flagstones. And then that will trigger. I will not use the ability. Triggers on the stack. I will not use the ability. Triggers on the stack. I will not exile Fire Spout. I will surveil. We don't want you to have a Solitude, so that goes to the graveyard. And then evasion. And I'll choose not to. And at that point, I guess I could have... Oh, I should... No, I can't. As it wasn't the hand, right? And at that point, we'll pass in full. And pass. You know, I have the Aven Interrupter, but that's fine. Because we can just cast the Fire Spout, and only for flyers, I suppose. And draw. Or that works too. Devourer of Destiny will eat the White Orchid. I mean, you can even Interrupter it, but doesn't matter. Okay. Interesting. Trying to think what else we want to do here. They have a lot of disruption is the problem. Yeah, it makes sense to maybe go with the Wastegate Battle Mage as well. Maybe Thief. Question is, I guess we could just pitch the Pithing Needle. Fire Spout's not a bad sweeper here is the problem. Everything's pretty fragile to it in their deck. I'm not seeing too much that needs like an immediate dismember, though I guess Stoneforge Mystic is on that list. Not to mention Cauldron Complete. Like, maybe we just keep the Haywire Mite in and run it back like this. Otherwise, we could cut Devourer of Destiny. The targeted removal is a little bit weak here, I want to say, because of Ephem. Instead, maybe go Wastegate Battle Mage. Yeah, let's do that. Wastegate here, I think, is better than Thief by comparison. We'll keep it. We'll pass. Ether Vial and draw. E-Temp. Let's start with Forest. Ancient Stirrings. There's a Broodscale. Broodscale is tempting. Yeah, let's grab the Broodscale. On the bottom, and a pass. And a pass, Aether Vial trigger. Which blessed, you have a White Orchid. You do not. Instead, you have an Evasion, which is fine. The question is what you grab at. Maybe Fire Spout, maybe K Command. I mean, actually, there's a lot of decent options here. K Command is always, I think, just a good option, no matter what. It just is too good of a card. Yeah. It's too good of a card to ignore, let's be real. Draw. Gemstone, you're a bit late to the party, friend. In that case, I will rumble. Maybe I should have not played the E-Temp, though grabbing the blade here is good. I have blade. I will pass. We have the token sticks. Yeah, the token sticks. I might want to play the bauble though. Let's stop a solitude. Interesting. So no White Orchid, otherwise they would have played it then. E-Temp number 2. Bauble. Even interrupt. Okay. Says everything's more expensive. I will not play the blade. I think we just hold in that case and hold the Boseiju. Yeah, it's probably best. Aether Vial, ETB, or Stoneforge. Stoneforge is fine. Grabs out a Cauldron Complete. That is equally as fine. Yes, because we can deal with that with a K command for 0, funny enough. Ghost Quarter is annoying, but not the end of the world. Cauldron Complete. Yep. There's a 5/5. I'll take 7 down to 11. Is Cauldron Complete indestructible? It is. Yep, that is okay by me. I'll take 7 down to 11. Oh, you're gonna flip Invasion. Can I see? I want to see the other side. What? Okay. Well, yes. That flips. Creatures you control gain hexproof. That's fine. That truly does nothing, in my opinion. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. And draw. Main. Let's go Gemstone Caverns. Cast Vaccine Bauble. Ephem Aven Interrupter. Okay, so then you'll recast the Vaccine Bauble. In that case, we already play a land for turn. So I will play Delighted Halfling. And no reason to play the Blade, just in case they have a Witch Enchanter. So in that case, we'll just hold. There's another Ephem. They can Ephem the Stoneforge, I suppose. The problem now is that they do have Aether Vial on 4. And Aether Vial on 4 could grab Witch Blast. Assimilation Aegis? What the fresh what? What is this? When this equipment enters, exile up to 1 target creature until this equipment leaves the battlefield. Becomes attached to a creature for as long as it's equipped. Remains equipped. It becomes a copy of a creature card exiled by his equipment. Okay. Interesting. Draw. Attack for 8. Yep, attack for 8. This is fine. Triple white. Skyclave app eats the halfling or eats the spawn? Eats the halfling. Should have probably eat the spawn in my opinion. 2 cards in hand. We know one of them's the Assimilation Aegis. Huh. Yep. So lethal's on board, so we need to win this turn. Draw. There's another K command. The only issue is right now I only have one green source. Yeah, that is genuinely an issue. So at this point, we do have a slight issue. Cauldra can kill us outright. If they have a Solitude or a Witch Blast, we're in trouble. This is 1, 2, 3. So equip 3, and then that. So I need to keep up the spawn. Yeah, that's trouble. So yeah, if they have... My concerns are twofold. Either A, Witch Blast, or B, Solitude. We need 3 plus spawn, so I can use 1, 2 for Vexing Bauble. Let's start there. We'll play Beseiju. I'm going to play Vexing Bauble. This once again insulates us specifically from Solitude. There is Solitude. So they pitch the Aegis. I'll float the mana off a spawn. So now with that out of the way, how much mana do I have access to? I have Broodscale, so I can go... I don't think I have enough now. Shoot. I can cast, so 1, 2, I can equip, but then I need something to die. Yeah. I need specifically something to die. So, do I have a path? Again, I can cast, equip, but then nothing. So my best bet here might instead be to Fire Spout. And red, green, colorless. Done. We sweep. Oh shit, that's right. I can exile the Phyrexian with K command, but then I die. Yeah, I forgot about the Light Shield Array. Did I have any other out? I had 1 mana. I don't think so. I'm trying to think here. 1 mana. Green. So we can play the Broodscale, I can play the Blade, I can equip the Blade. That's it. I guess we could have... Trying to think. I guess we could have done what? I mean, they would have played around the K command. They still had the light shield array. This wasn't plotted. This would have cost 2 additional, 4 additional, so it'd cost me 6. So that's not an option. Yeah, I don't think I had an out. If I drew a card off the bauble. Nope. Yeah. Unfortunate. Alright. Well, sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. The invasion really kind of screwed me over. Oh, damn. Damn. Because, yeah, if we were able to sweep and then K command the Phyrexian Germ, then we would have been fine. Yeah, just K commanding the Phyrexian Germ wouldn't have gotten me there. Because that's 3/6. Huh. Unfortunate. Alright. Well, again, sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. We'll be back for match number 4. Number 5. Alright. And we're back for match number 5 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. I mean, if you find a green source, it's not as bad, but even then, it's not great, right? Because, yeah, we go Saga, green source, Basking Broodscale, question mark, and hope they have no interaction. It's not the greatest. And I think we mulligan here, especially on the play. This looks a bit better by comparison. I think we pitch, what? Halfling or Stirrings? Halfling allows us to ramp potentially into a Glaring Flesh Rake. We'll pitch the Stirrings, keep the Rumble. Halfling, and pass. And pass. Light for relics, so it feels like blink, draw. In that case, let's start off with Rumble. Whoa, that's brutal. I don't think that's happened to me in a hot minute. We'll pass. And I'll pitch a Rumble. Yeah, I guess like if I had a Stirrings, at least I could have grabbed the K command and maybe even gone one deeper to find a land. Oh, don't tell me that this is more land destruction. What is going on here? And draw. I'm just gonna hold. For a K command. Blast? What the fresh what? What is this? What is happening right now? Who made a recording of a mono white land destruction / control deck? Who did it? Which one of you? K command, X2. There's Blade and Saga. I mean, we would force them to use the Blast Zone, right? Oh, actually. Interesting. Top draw. This is perfect, and now we pray that they don't have a Solitude. Please no Solitude. Ancient Stirrings. We could try and find a Vexing Bauble. Okay, so let's see here. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 mana total, right? We do have that plus that. You could just go for it. If they have the Solitude, they have the Solitude. Yeah, let's do it. Blade of the Bloodchief. Cast Basking Broodscale. Equip. Trigger always yield. Resolve? I don't think so. Path to Exile, Solitude, both, just for good measure. Resolves. Trigger. Yeah, there's a Solitude. Evoke, Exiles, White Orchid. Oh, and an Ephem. Awesome. Yeah, moments like this remind me how much of like a feel bad this deck can be sometimes. We'll pass. I guess, maybe I should have held that. I mean, if you want to Ephem, yeah. I probably should have just not played that. K command. Pain cost. Karn. I'm pretty sure I just concede at this point. Ancient Stirrings. Oh hey, look at that. The Vexing Bauble. Christ. I don't think I can do anything. I'm trying to think of what I have recourse for Karn main, and I got nothing. Yeah, we'll concede. Eyes will concede. So, land destruction? Control? I don't know. All I know is whoever made a video on this archetype needs to not. Alright, so Karn. So we need Thief. We didn't see anything that necessarily requires Might. Or Soul Guide for that matter. We can cut the Gemstone. Probably go Pithy Needle. We did see White Orchid and Ephem though. Is that Dismember question mark? I mean, Dismember might not be incorrect. Question is, what else would we be thinking of or concerned about? Felia, I suppose? Yeah, Felia would be unfortunate. Maybe also brings in some form. I don't know. I cut like this, and then maybe 2 Dismember, cut like this. Yeah, let's do it like that. Because we definitely need a Thief. I'll keep. If we can draw into a temp, that'd be great. I'll play the Blade. No reason not to. We'll pass. E-temp would be great here. Sunken Citadel for white and draw. Another Blade is not what I wanted. I don't think there's any reason for me to play another Blade here. We'll pass and hold up a K command for 0. It could be relevant. Demolition field. I'm thinking I K command for 0 here. Ram scry draw. Stirrings, demolition field. And for forest. And draw. Rumble. Stirring, show me a E-temp. There's an E-temp. Would have liked the Broodscale, but I think I need to apply some pressure to the board. And I'll pass. Do you have a Solitude or Path to Exile? Path to Exile. Grab a forest and pass and pass. Next turn we can rumble. Second plains. Do you have a white orchid? You have a white orchid. I'm gonna run out of basics here in just a moment. Forest. And draw. Springleaf. I will play Rumble. Blade of the Blood Chief. I don't need another Blade of the Blood Chief. I could grab a Wayscape Battle Mage, but that doesn't do too much right now. I mean, I'll still grab the Wayscape for what it's worth. Play a Springleaf Drum. And pass, I suppose? Yeah, it's kind of the best I got, to be honest. And the problem is, if they get rid of this forest, or this Carplucent and spawn MSOL on these Wayscapes. Don't like that. Yeah, I'm thinking that this is a wash. Back-to-back mono white land destruction. There's KGC. Yep. KGC minus. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, we're short on Emrakul. There's Liquid Metal. White Orchid attacks down to 18. Show me a thief. It's not a thief. We play the forest. I think I pass. Can't do too much else right now is the problem. We'll play the Liquid Metal. They know we have the Wayscape, which will exile a Liquid Metal, but the problem is they can just grab it back with Karn. Oh, no, we will just see the forest go. I'm gonna say no. Then Liquid Metal. He'll target the other forest. Yep. Triggers, always yields. Because I should have equipped that to the spawn. Yep, I'll take 2 down to 16. We can Wayscape exile a Liquid Metal for what it's worth. Ancient Stirrings. K command's doing nothing, and E-temp's doing just as much of nothing. I mean, we can play the forest and then exile the Liquid Metal. It's not going to do too much, though, is the problem. Yeah, what I really needed was a thief. Wastegate exiles the liquid metal. Again, they'll just grab back the liquid metal with Karn. It's a bit of a moot point. At least then we can get rid of it again. But they also have these white orchids blocking for Karn. Yeah. I'm not winning this. There's no way in hell. Oh, and a Field of Ruin too? Oofda. Yep, we'll shuffle. Karn minus, grabs the liquid metal. Liquid metal, and then you'll probably not target my land. Instead, you're going to target my spawn so it can't sacrifice itself. Draw. Okay, that's actually fine. Draw. Of course. I need a thief. I need a thief. Exile the liquid metal. Again. And I can't attack because White Orchid Phantom is currently untapped. And we'll pass. Well, at the very least, if you want to grab liquid metal. Oh, Ghost Corner. Yeah. I will not shuffle. I fail to find. Karn plus, no attacks, and draw. Yeah. Dismember White Orchid. Do you have an EFM? No EFM. Go to combat. Attack Karn. Attack Karn. At least this way we keep him from grabbing a liquid metal. Yep. Paying cost. Yeah. I think I'm dead. Yeah, I don't think I have any recourse at this point. They Karn minus local metal. I have one land. At most, I can play a Basking Broodscale, I guess, if I draw into a land specifically. I mean, even then, what do I do with that? I don't really do much. They local metal again, going down to 1. I can't even adapt for a colorless source, so there's no way for me to get to Thief. Yeah, I think I just concede here. I don't have any recourse. All right, we'll concede. Yep, not much we can do about that, unfortunately. Brutal. Yeah, so the main two... We actually played against a lot of weird decks today. We played against Jund Saga, Grixis Death Shadow, Neobrand, which is meta enough to where it has above 1% meta share, and then 2 mono white land destruction decks with like 2 very different flavors. One more blink, and then one more like true lockdown control. Wild. Alright. I mean, I don't think I can really expect to win against land destruction. I think I got lucky in game 2, to be honest, of match 4. I mean, to be fair, game 3 is very close. We almost got there. We almost had the win. We were, I think, 1 mana short. Yeah, we were 1 mana short of getting there. Really unfortunate. Yeah. Wild. Well, sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. It is what it is. But with that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It'd be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. In fact, we are now below 100 subscribers remaining. At which point, I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, which will allow me to save up for a streaming PC, so I can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you get early access to my new videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. With that being said, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!